Hi, John Natoro here, and today we are going to tackle the risotto. Now, some people feel that risotto is super difficult and time consuming. It really isn't. As long as you're patient with it, you try not to rush it, let it take its course, it's not difficult at all. So what I've done here, I've sauteed a clove of garlic, one whole shallot, and around a tablespoon of butter. Sauteed it, got all nice and friendly until it was like a little bit, I don't want to say caramelized because it's a little bit too beigey, but just, did it until around tender, fork tender. And after that, I added 1 cup of arboro rice. Put the arboro rice in here, gave it a stir around 2 minutes, almost until it sounds like glass beads in the frying pan. After that, I added in 1/2 cup of white wine, stirred that all around. And then in the meantime, before all that was going on, I put actually 4 cups of chicken broth in here. So it's not boiling, but it's nice and hot, as you can see the steam. So you want to do that and keep that reserve on the side. So after you've sauteed the rice with the white wine, you're going to be basically taking 1 full ladle, which is roughly, let's say, around 1/2 cup to a cup of chicken broth, and adding that. So what you're going to do is that this is pretty much what is going to be happening here. It's going to be on a slow simmer. You don't want it too boiling away because you do want that rice to be cooking, and you're just basically going to be stirring that. Now the arboro rice is pretty dense, so it's going to take you probably around half an hour to be making this dish. And once it starts really drying up, so as you can see when you stir it, see how the liquid kind of is not liquidy, it almost has a little bit of consistency. You want to go until it's a lot thicker than that. Then you're going to add in another ladle of the chicken broth, and you're going to keep doing that back and forth until either you run out of chicken broth or the rice is pretty much done. I like mine a little bit runnier than normal. The reason being is that the liquid tends to solidify if the rice is sitting there for a little bit. Like a little bit runny. Not runny, but kind of oozy, that saucy thing going on. So we're going to do this, come back, because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with some spinach. I'm going to saute some spinach with some nutmeg and a little bit of garlic. Saute that, put that on top of the risotto, and pan-sear some scallops that are going to be insane. So come back. Risotto's done. It's been around 30 minutes. And as you can see, I've gone through actually 4.5 cups of chicken broth. It just soaked it up a lot more. So as you can see, when you're stirring it, see how it just glides and just, you got a little bit of moisture in there, but that'll soak up. So I wouldn't worry about it being bone dry. I don't like it like that. I like having a little essence going on there. So what I do is I'll take a nice dollop of butter. That's right. Oh my God, it's a lot of butter. Well, whatever. It's risotto. I'm trying to find a healthy option. This is probably not the dish for you. So it's nice to indulge every so often, and the butter really brings out that flavor. I use non-salted butter. I'm not a big fan of the salted butter in a risotto dish, and the reason being because this Parmesan cheese, which I've grated, will go in and it will add a lot of salt to the dish because that's Parmesan, or actually you use Parmesan Reggiano. So basically that's what you're going to do. You're going to stir it around. I'm going to plate it once my scallops are done, and and I'm going to be doing the spinach dish. That's going to do a nice little topper to actually be the bed of my scallops. Presentation, you're going to see how I put it together, so you can do this at home. It's not difficult. I do it in stages. You'll see. Okay, so what I've done, I've taken a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter, and I put 1 clove of garlic in here, sauteed it slightly, added some spinach. We're ready to go. Now in this pan here, super hot, it's nice. Adding a little bit of grapeseed oil. Now why grapeseed oil? Grapeseed oil will not smoke at a very high flame. As you can see, no smoke. You do olive oil, smokes much less of a temperature. It'll start to smoke. Same thing, call it in the corn oil, such and such, peanut oil. But the grapeseed oil, which really doesn't have any flavor, will smoke at a very high temperature, which is nice. Now, this is done. That's where you want that to be done. So we're going to put that aside, heat off. Now we're going to be doing our scallops. The scallops, we want to salt. I use nothing but kosher salt because it's the best. And we will be turning down the heat ever so slightly. There we go. That's a good hot pan in there. Now, some people put the butter with the scallops. The reason why I don't, I find the butter tends to burn. And I'm going to be adding butter, which is actually this. I've taken butter and browned it. So now it's nut butter. I'm going to turn on the fan because the aroma. So you're going to be sauteing this. You're going to take a little bit of that salt, go on the other side. There's so slightly. The aroma here is fantastic. Let me give it a shake. I'm going to turn it over. Once it starts getting golden brown, flip it, do the same, and then I'm ready to plate. Come back, I'll show you how to plate this. Welcome back. Now scallops are done. Paper towel, or sorry, paper bag here. I don't like using paper towels, but those scallops are ready to go. So look at the goldenness on that. Not overdone. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. The pan is hot. So we're gonna just leave them there. Do its thing. Now we got the risotto here. So I usually do around 3 mounds per. That's plenty of risotto. It's so rich and so good. Like if you can smell this, it's absolutely sensational. What's going on here with the shallots and the white wine. It's amazing. So what I'm going to do, I have 3 spoonfuls like so. There we go. Risotto to the side. And I'm going to take the spinach that I have, like so. Oops, do this. Take the spinach like so, and I plate the spinach. Just like this. Now finally, take my scallops. They're all relaxing, doing their thing. And I plate ever so gently. Now I'm going to do 3 nice scallops per, because it looks sensational. And then, what I find is fantastic is I have this browned butter. And the browned butter, the nuttiest flavor that comes off of here is fantastic. You want to drizzle that over like so. And the flavor you're going to get from this, as you can see the texture or the color of the brown butter, it just adds a certain nuttiness to it. And it's so good. A little bit more love there. There we go. So what we have today, risotto with garlic, shallots, white wine. We have the pan-seared spinach with the garlic and pan-seared scallops. Bon appetit. If you'd like to know more, please message me. Lots more to come. I'm going through my cookbook that I came up with these recipes, so this is my creation, so enjoy.